Okay, everybody, as you know, communication is very difficult here on Twitter. So I thought it'd be best to just share a link, have you guys get up to speed quickly. So what I want to discuss real quick is the plan that we're on. For anyone who doesn't know why you're here because you followed us. And I appreciate that and encourage you to continue to follow us because we're going to bring a lot of things to light that the world needs to see. For those of you that want to help, I'm going to tell you how to do that. It's really, really easy. What we're doing here is we're trying to make enough noise that we get in front of more than just people sitting on their phones and computers. We want YouTube channels, and eventually we want network television to have to reconcile the fact that there's so many people making noise about a topic. Alright, so with that being said, we're trying to work it out to where QAnon and the Trump administration can utilize us as their loudspeaker to give them leverage that what they want to talk about is something that the people want to hear about. At the same time, spreading the information that the QAnon team has been slowly releasing to the public in an effort to wake them up, or the Great Awakening, as so many people have referred it to. So we're going to do our part to do that. Q specifically said to organize, to be heard, and to be loud. And that's why we're here. So if you're not interested in participating in that, that's not a problem. There's no hard feelings either way. But I'd like for you to consider it along the way as you go down this path that we're on, because in the end I believe people will either be behind this movement or they'll be in prison because they're against it for their own reasons, that they're concerned that the truth is going to hurt them. For many other people in between, they don't know what to think about this situation. They haven't been exposed to it, many of them. They have no idea about a Great Awakening or QAnon. But it's coming fast, and for anyone that's been paying attention, it's real obvious. It's coming on hard. And I think we're on a timetable that is that's outside our realm, our control. And I think that's why things are ramping up. So, with that being said, welcome. Welcome to the Rainmakers. Welcome to the storm. So the next thing I want to talk about, anyone that doesn't want to be a part of this, just ignore it and go on. You can follow us if you like. I appreciate it. And if we keep inviting you in, I apologize for that. We're trying to get everybody, so that's not to try and aggravate anyone. For anyone who does want to participate, you need to send me a message. You need to send it right now. As soon as this video is over, send me a DM so I can get you incorporated into this program. Now, there's other videos on my channel here that explain the different things that we're doing, but I felt like I needed a outline of the whole plan. So here you go. A few months ago we had hashtag release the memo, and it was very successful because a lot of people supported it. You saw it on the YouTube channels that people watch, and lots of people that want to help, just like many of you who don't know how and what they can do. Well, this is what you can do. You can get together with a bunch of other people, make enough noise that they've got to notice us. Release the memo was very successful. It had over 1 million interactions or tweets, or honestly, I don't know anything about Twitter, but that's how much I care about this whole movement. I've learned so much in the last 2 months ever since I've found myself on this path, and there's nothing that's going to stop me, and I know many of you feel the same way. And together, well, they're going to have a real problem, aren't they? So what we're going to do is we're going to emulate the release the memo concept, except we're going to do it in a much more calculated way, a much more predictable way. So what we're doing is every Wednesday we're going to have a storm, a big storm, and we're going to take our cues from Q, oddly enough, and hopefully they will utilize this resource that we're providing for them. Because when I initially came up with this plan, the whole point, well, this isn't entirely the truth, but I'll come back to that. The whole point is to build an army of people that the mechanism's already in place and everything's working smoothly. And all they got to do is say, here's what we need to do, and tell us, and we can make it happen. When they say we need a petition signed, or when they say we need so-and-so to be supported in an election, or we need this, or we need that, whatever they need, as long as they continue to be on the righteous path, as long as they continue to be on the path that supports the American people, and forget that, all of the people, because there's a lot of nations and there's a lot of really great people, human beings, God's children, who have been affected, and we're going to stop that. So as long as leaders are on the same page with taking care of the citizens and protecting the families, then we're going to support that. The game of politics will never be the same. No longer will people just sit back and let it happen and say, well, there's nothing you can do. Because we've seen already there's a lot we can do. Donald Trump would not be in office if a bunch of people didn't vote for him. And that's a simple fact. They did everything they could to keep him from being in there. What they didn't count on was a lot of people showing up to vote for him. And they tried really hard to convince us not to do that, didn't they? Well, here we are. And that game will never be the same. From now on, people will pay attention, at least for the next several decades. And we need not let people forget what we've had to endure so that they don't have to go through it. But for today, we're going to unite. And we're going to support the president, the QAnon team, and all of their allies. So here's how we're going to do that. In a unified effort, every week on Wednesday, we will release a storm that supports what they're trying to do and allows them to utilize us, which they've done already. And if you go look at post 1025, I think you will see that post specifically was targeted at our group. That was the end of the first storm. I sat at my desk that night, not sure how it went, because I don't know that much about this stuff. I don't know how to read the charts. I mean, I can read the charts, but comparatively speaking, I don't know how well it went, because I have no reference for that. So I sat at my desk and I said, Lord, please help me understand what I'm supposed to do. And within minutes, it wasn't 10 minutes, maybe 20, one of the people I'm friends with said, have you seen the latest Q posts? And then shared 1025 with me. And there it is. For those of you that don't know what a Q post looks like, I'm sure there's not many. Here's your post number. Here's Q's trip code. That's a specific identifier. Very hard to duplicate, especially under the format that they're in. And here it is. We are sincerely appreciative for your kind words, and appreciation means more than you know. Each one read in full. We are in this together. Where we go one, we go all. I find this to be maybe even more interesting. 2018 will be glorious. Makes you wonder what glorious really means. God bless. Q. Now, I watched lots of videos on YouTube. Not one person explained what they thought this meant. Many didn't even mention it. A few read through it, never even checked up. But when that came to me at the end of the day on Wednesday, after a lot of confusion and trying to pull together a mess that I'm not quite capable of handling, that was the answer to my prayer. That was the answer we all needed to see. Since then, we've made a lot of great connections. We've learned a lot of new tricks that are going to help us be much more successful. There are people in these groups following us that are significant. They're special people. We're really blessed to have them. And I'm blessed to have you guys. And together we're gonna put a stop to this nonsense. Now I want to stress this isn't about America. Although the world realizes that we play an important role in how things go, there's a lot of people from other countries in our groups. Many of them with the same sentiment that what happens in America sets the stage for the world. Now, I don't know where we'd be if we didn't still have our guns. But I'm glad I don't have to consider that right this moment. So let's get back to the mission. Every week the storm comes out on Wednesday. And then we come around and do it again. But the process actually starts on Sunday when I meet with key members of other groups. And together we talk about what our target's going to be. We generally have 2 or 3 as a backup and trying to anticipate what's going to happen. Monday, people start preparing, letting other people know what the storm is going to be focused on, getting their memes ready, trying to recruit more people. Monday night, we make it official and tell people what we're doing so that we have a definitive target. The other 1 or 2 stay on the list for the following week. And we can always change fire, but we prepare for that specific target. So throughout the day Tuesday, we need to be contacting YouTube channels and letting them know what we're doing. We need to do it in droves. Hundreds of us need to send messages to the same people saying, do not ignore the storm, it is coming Wednesday. Because if they will mention it, we will drastically increase the amount of impact we have and recruiting. So that's Tuesday. Tuesday night, when you get home from work, toward the end of the day, that's when we start our storm. We don't wait until midnight. We start at 8 or 9 o'clock and get the momentum rolling. If we start at midnight, most people will not be around. It'll be very quiet. And then the storm doesn't really start until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Now this is happening around the world. But to my knowledge, it only counts country to country. So if you're in a country and you're the only person there that's involved with the rainmakers, that's okay. People are going to see it. It's going to grow. And when I started this project, it was me with a pencil and a piece of paper. And now we have a small army with great people supporting it. So you start your army. Tell them to join our fight. There's other countries that are doing quite well. But when I say midnight, I'm on Eastern Standard Time in the United States. And we need to be starting at 8 and 9 o'clock at night, the previous night. So Tuesday night, 8, 9 o'clock, we need to start. Even if you don't put a lot of effort in it, we need to get the momentum going, get people noticing, get them retweeting. Because when midnight happens on the East Coast, it's different times around the world. We need more and more feedback. People are connected all over the world now. So when we send something out and they see it in Germany and they send it to somebody else that's friends with their United States family members and things like that, that starts things kicking off. And they notice it and they go, hey, did you see this? And that's how we trigger it. So at midnight, things are rolling. Not at 6 in the morning when we're just getting out of bed. And for the late owls, the people that like to stay up all night, you have a really important role in this because you start the momentum rolling. And when people turn on their phones and check their Twitter and they see how things are rolling along and get reminded of, oh yeah, we got the storm, it becomes a bigger priority to them. The bigger and louder this gets, the more momentum it's going to pull into itself, like a snowball down a hill. And this sumbitch is getting big. I can feel it. Everywhere I turn, the support is overwhelming. So then Wednesday comes and we storm. And ideally, Wednesday night, Thursday, and Friday, people like Hannity, Tucker Carlson, people like that are in the middle trying to share the truth can be given the leverage that this is what the people want to hear about. So we're going to talk about it and not be stifled by their producers as much. And then we just keep repeating that. Monday morning when the news cycle comes out, that's about when we know what our storm topic's going to be. We lock it in later that day. Tuesday we tell the world. Wednesday we storm the world. And Thursday and Friday, the big wigs, the big fish, can let all the people know. It's going to take us a couple weeks to get there, but it's inevitable. It's that important. Everyone on the face of this earth needs to be considering what is going on. So the time is now. Join the fight. Now, if you send me a message, I'll include you in the rooms and we'll get rolling quickly. If you don't want to be involved, just leave the room. Go to the very top of the screen and select the little I think, inside of the circle. Go to the bottom of the next screen and you can leave. No hard feelings. We need the rooms full of people that are actually wanting to participate, who actually realize the importance of what we're trying to do. Also, we need some more leaders. I'm just one guy that has managed to find, and I know darn well I didn't find them. They found me. And we're all on a path marching in the same direction toward the light. So just one guy has managed to find a few people that are really helping out. I need about 100. I've got about 15 really good people. But I need 100 people. And I'll need more than that later. Now the leadership role is not difficult. It can be stressful. And it can be aggravating. And there's some bad people in the rooms that create unnecessary drama. It's very unusual. For the most part, it's all great patriots. And lots of people who aren't involved. So it's time for you to get involved. And if you don't want to be involved, it's time for you to leave. You can always come back, just let us know. If you're not comfortable doing this stuff, that's fine. Soon the whole world will see this stuff. Whether they like it or not, it's coming. It's our job to help mitigate that. The Great Awakening is not about Donald Trump. None of this is about Donald Trump. He's a soldier, just like the rest of us. He happens to be at the front of the line. But if we don't support him, then what? So we need leaders. If you're interested in leading, here's all you got to do. There's a video that speaks to this, by the way, on my channel. All you need to do is take responsibility to some small extent of keeping your room supplied with the ammunition they need. Memes. People have said this is a meme war, and that's exactly what it is. It's an information war using memes. And they should be informative and they should be funny. They shouldn't be insulting. They shouldn't be graphic. They should be done tastefully. So we have a room set up with memes in it. You go in there, you get a meme, you bring it out, and you put it out in your groups. However many you have. Then when people post, some of the people that are in your group post their own memes, you take that, copy it, bring it, and put it in the meme room. There's 40 rooms doing that right now. As I'm speaking, that's happening. And there's going to be a lot more rooms. So I need a lot more people. And the people in the rooms, what you're supposed to be doing is retweeting. Add your comments and retweet. If you see a good meme out there, bring it back home. We can put it in our room. If you want to create, that's fantastic. Create memes, drop them in your group. The leader will take it, put it in the meme room. All the other leaders take it. So we take one meme. It goes through your whole group of 30 people. Then it goes in the meme room. All the other leaders bring it back to their groups of 30 people. You're talking about 1,000 times that one meme goes out. That's how simple this is. That's how quickly we get results. Let me show you some results. Alright, here's some results. Wish I had the date on here. This is, I think, from 2 days ago. April 18th. And here you can see in 25 minutes we reached 250,000 people and over 500,000 impressions. Don't ask, I don't know what that means, but it's a big number. It's a really big number. You want to see a bigger one? 2 days later. Now this, let me mention this. This is for the Rainmakers, okay? I don't know if you've ever heard of the Rainmakers, but there's not a whole lot of people using that. Basically, anyone putting that in is part of this movement. It's part of that right there. And like I said, you want to see numbers? This is yesterday. This is a 3-hour window. 3 million people got reached. 4.25 million impressions. That is absolutely fabulous. I'd say we're probably, we're not even 50% efficient right yet. That number should probably be about 10 million, maybe 20, if we were doing this like it's supposed to be going, like it's soon to be going. Because bear in mind, 3 weeks ago, that number was 0. Almost overnight. That's how important this is. That's how important this is. There's no other way to account for what's happening here except for the importance of the message. Now you can wait until these numbers double. You can wait until more people know before you get to be involved. Or you can step up right now and be a part of one of the most important things that's ever happened in the history of the world. And if you're not comfortable doing some of the things that are on there, don't. Shouldn't do anything that's not something you believe in. The spectrum of issues that people are talking about is so vast, and I don't honestly know what I believe out of all the things that people are talking about. But I do believe in evil, and I've seen enough of it that I'm prepared to do whatever it takes to stop it. Are you? And that takes us right back to here. If you're not sure what your future holds, there's a book that I highly recommend you look into. And it's really time to consider your relationship with God. Whoever your God is, that's your decision to make. But we're getting close to a point at which you're not going to be able to go back, I believe. Join the fight. Truth to light. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.